playoff football is about to begin.
Keep it read option.
Outside
running room inside the 20.
He's gone.
15,
He's
10.
gone. No.
Touchdown, Ironhead.
Release pressure. Throws it down the field. Good pass.
Oh, he caught it.
Bounces off of it and gets wide for the touchdown. Number 6, Randy Aiden. Roll right, looks downfield, gets rid of it, finds his man, complete, spins, breaks a tackle, first down across the 50, 45, still on his feet, running down the sideline. One guy here, he gets back, and he's going to be in for the touchdown. What a play. There we go. And we are underway. Everyone get fired up. CHSN Live.
Good evening. Welcome to Roland, Oklahoma. CHSN, Brad Cameron, Jim Alderson live here. We're at the Roland Ranger Vian Wolverine Lincoln Christian scrimmage here tonight, here in Roland. And man, I mean, we only really got to see a couple series there. Open up at Lincoln Christian. Man, they look good. And it just caught a touchdown pass, about what, 40 yards.
Hooked up the fight right here.
Yep, we got a brawl out here between Simon and some Lincoln Christian players.
Somebody hooked up their fight.
Man, what a way to get the season started. We got a great scrimmage here tonight.
Hey, what do you think about this weather?
Well, it got hot again. You know, we were.
Oh my goodness.
You know, we had it good for a few weeks.
We're living in Oklahoma, don't we?
And we haven't had a lot. We've had a lot of rain too. I know there's been some major flooding in the Sequoia County area and the East Sequoia County area, and we're trying to get over that. We want to send our prayers to all those people affected by the floods. But we're here for this is our season preview show. This is the second year we've done it. We're here at Roland. We're going to preview the teams that we're going to cover this season. We may go over a couple other teams around in various districts in our area. So, but you never know. I mean, we haven't got a set schedule yet for late in the season. So, we could pick up something here and there, and
we're going to try to bring everybody the best game after game 5.
Did you bring my sunglasses?
No, I got mine on.
Man, I forgot them. Anyway, we came out with the schedule preview show, and you've seen our schedule, and you know what we got going on the first few weeks of the season. To start out, week 1 we got
Vian.
Yep, the Bulldogs.
That's 0 week.
0 week we got the Bulldogs at the Wolverines. Week 1 we have Beggs at Berryhill, a top 10 matchup in Class 3A. Week 2 we're back here for the Tahlequah Sequoia Indians to take on the Roland Rangers. Should be a great game. Week 3 we're kind of in limbo.
Yeah, we don't know.
We're not sure about the Dakota Eufaula game right now.
We want to cover it.
We want to cover it, but I tell you what, we do have another game that we're talking about doing, and you can see it on the screen right there. You're talking about are they number 4 in 4A?
Yes, 4 and
Number
4A.
4 in 4A Hilldale Hornets taking on the Beggs Demons.
Who are like, what are you pointing at?
Point at the helmet. I'm like a weatherman. So Hilldale Beggs week 3 is possibly a game we would do.
Beggs is like number 12
in 3A and loaded with speed. Both teams are.
Return a lot.
Incredible game. Man, we're getting close to the action over here. So we'll start off the night with
3A6.
Start off with 4A4.
4A4.
Let's start off with 4A4. So we got some local county. We got a local county team, the Salisaw Black Diamonds, in that district. Man, I mean, I'm telling you, that district is a good district. It always is. 4A3 may be better most years, but 4A4 is always a good district. We've grew up in that district. We've been in that district for years. We've covered games in that district I've covered games in that district for 15 years. And it's a great district, especially when your Broken Bows, your Fort Gibsons are good. Poto's typically good. Salisaw's typically good. And now with Hilldale there, Hilldale's great, man. They're a great football team.
Well, and that 4A, what is it, 3 that Wagner's in?
Wagner and Oolagaw and Cassia Hall.
But see, Cassia Hall's going to move out after this year.
They will move out after this year.
So
they'll move down into 2A or 3A?
I think they're going clean to 2A, and Metro's going to 3A.
Well, we'll start off the night with 4A4. Hilldale, of course, one of the teams we just talked about. They're predicted to win the district. Metro Christian's predicted to finish second in the district. You know, Metro Christian, I love watching them play. I love it. And they're going to score. They're going to try to put out about 100 plays a game offensively.
Score about 40 points a game.
And score 40-something points a game. And they're going to sideline to sideline, spread the field, and throw it short.
I hope they score 42 and you score 40.
Right.
You know,
right.
that's their.
And that was about the score in the Southall Metro game last season. You remember?
Well, it's been that way pretty much every year they've been in it.
Right.
You know.
So Metro predicted to finish second in 4A4, and they're ranked number 7 in Class 4A. Number 3 is the Sallisaw Black Diamonds, led by Scott Bethel. Another successful season last year, making the playoffs. Now they did have to play Oologah in the first round at Oologah, which was a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
I mean, you run
well, that's been your runner-up. What?
Right.
2 years in a row or 3 years in a row?
Right. Now the Diamonds sitting right outside the top 10 here. We probably put them in about 12th, 11th or 12th there behind Cassia Hall. But I'll tell you what, they bring back Jason Bartell, 6'7", 305, and Josh Wiley, another big offensive tackle. I think he plays guard, 6'4", 265. Of course, they bring Galvez back at center. They got Valdez, Brown, Nicholson may play up there some. He's an athletic kid.
They return all their starters on the line.
Right, and they're bringing in a new quarterback this year. We had Bell last year was a dynamic quarterback running the football. We covered him down at Poto, made some great plays. Him and Capehart in the backfield were just unreal. Really, really a dynamic quarterback. But this year they bring in Didway. They list him at 6'3", 230. They say he's got a cannon for an arm, and he's leading the quarterback battle in summer camp right now. So expect him to be out there. They got a good group of receivers. They say Henshaw, Fulbright are the two leaders. Probably see Jacob Morris in there some. Now he's played a lot younger as a younger kid. I remember him as a sophomore and a freshman. Getting a lot of playing time and really good. Running backs: Hunter Williams, Jace Nicholson, and Nate Asbel. They'll probably all three share some time back there in the backfield. Of course.
Until you're going to go with the hot hand there. Until you know which kid's going to step up, which you're replacing Capehart.
Right. And of course, also Glass. I mean, he was a dynamic player, and you got to replace him. He was a really dynamic at the linebacker position, also running the football. So the Diamonds defensively, Bartell up front, Brown, Brody Nicholson, been a linebacker for what? 15 years at Sallisaw, seems like.
They say they're 3 deep on the line.
On the offensive line?
Well, yeah, I mean.
On the D line.
On the defensive line. They're 3 deep on the defensive line.
Right.
And then you got all them linebackers.
Right.
I mean,
Connor Daffin, one of the linebackers. Probably going to see Didway playing some linebacker. But Brody Nicholson, I mean, he's been in there for years. Great linebacker. Been playing, I think, since he was a freshman. Good, tough linebacker. In the defensive backfield, you'll see Henshaw and Fulbright. Them two also back there. Hunter Williams back there playing some defensive back.
That'll be your safeties. They're your safeties.
Yep. So looking for that out of Sallisaw. Poto, 4th in 4A.
Bartell back to Sallisaw, 5,100.
You're right. Yeah, and I believe he's already committed, isn't he?
I don't know if he's committed.
He's talking about New Mexico
But he's had offers from a lot of different places.
I know New Mexico State's on one of the, he's on their list. But, I mean, he has a good season. I could see him TU or someone like that coming in and, picking him up.
Well, 6'7".
He played both tackle spots, either tackle
305.
Spot.
That, them boys at OU ain't much bigger now.
No, they weigh a little bit more.
But he would put that weight on going in somewhere like that. Go ahead. Back
Poto 4th. Fort Gibson picked 5th in the district. Broken Bow 6th. Stillwell 7th. And, of course, Tulsa Rogers 8th. Tulsa Rogers can't get out of the cellar. I mean, we've been there a few times and covered some games, and they're just, it's tough being a, Tulsa public school there where they're at.
Stillwell's glad they're there.
Yeah, Stillwell is glad they're there. So that is 4A4. Jimbo, what do you got? What do you got next? 3A what?
3A6.
3A6.
Don't be tearing my papers up.
Let's talk about them.
No, you took out too many.
No, I just took out 2.
Yeah, but.
Hey, follow my lead, buddy. Follow my lead.
Okay, I had you messed up. I didn't have you set up right.
All right, 3A6, Jim. What do you got? Who do you got at the top?
Cushing Tigers.
Cushing
ranked
Tigers.
5th in the state. You know, I know a few years back when we went up and watched Locust Grove and Heritage Hall play, Cushing was the team that Heritage Hall played in the finals. You
State
know,
championship
yeah,
game. Yep.
they've had a pretty good, about a 5-year run. There was 1 year in there 7-3, but most years, what the?
Bring it back up, Darren. Yeah, we're going to look at the 3A is loaded. There's more. Of course, there's double the teams in 3A than what 4A has.
You got the Lincoln Christian at
yeah,
number
you look
6.
at you look at the top. You look at the top, and you got Jones and John Marshall. Man, I'm talking about perennial powerhouses.
Bring that back up again.
Of course,
Darren.
you see Cushing there at 5, who's pick number 1 in 3A6. Number 2 in 3A6 is the Beggs Demons down there at number 12. But look, you have Stigler in there at 9. You have Telequosequoia, who will be covering here at Roland week 2 at 11. Beggs, look,
We're going to do a Berry Hill game, ain't we? Going to
we're
Berry
going
Hill?
to do a Berry Hill game for Berry Hill and Beggs. And then right outside that top 15 right there is the Muldrow Bulldogs, who probably will be a top 15 team after the first several weeks of the season.
And you know, looking at everything and everybody, what they're all returning, you know, which Muldrow's got to have some linemen step up, you know. But from this area, I really see 2 or 3 teams, or the teams that we cover. I see 2 or 3 teams that could make a deep run.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Yeah, I see Beggs and Stigler definitely making a deep run into the play, at least 2 rounds deep, maybe quarterfinals in 3A. And
You know,
don't count out. Right, don't count out Okmulgee Bulldogs, and don't count out the Eufaula Ironheads either, because you know, as we've known,
well, they're in 3A8.
Right, but I mean, just talking in our area.
Yeah, that we
in our
cover.
coverage
Yeah,
area,
make
you know,
a
really tough teams.
Well, when you spread the field, it gives you a good chance to win. Eufaula's going to spread the field. Okmulgee returns their sophomore quarterback, Barrett
Yep.
kid.
Yep.
You know, I know Darren was talking to Rodney today, and he said Shakota's looks a lot better in camp than what they're being shown on all the.
He said speed.
Yes.
He said they had a lot of speed.
You know, Beggs, you know, they're ranked 12th. They return everything Jared Suter at running back, you know, 5'11", 215.
He's being recruited.
Yeah. And then
With a running back like Suter, and you have a wide receiver like E.J. Smoot, who is very dynamic with the football. I mean, you got some big play threats on the offensive side of the football. Now, they're going to be breaking in a new quarterback this year. I believe Dalton Springs is going to be playing quarterback for Beggs this season. Now, he's a big kid.
yeah, 6'4", 225.
Big kid, yeah. You know, last year they had that, I forget what his name was, but he was like a dual threat quarterback. Remember, they'd run a lot of read.
But didn't they bring Spring in to play?
They would bring him in, and then Spring played tight end also, remember? So
And then the Smoot kid is just a pure athlete. I mean, just
dynamic, very fast, really athletic, can get up in the air, you know, catch jump balls. Really a dynamic playmaker for the Demons.
They return a lot. You know, I mean,
They do.
From what I was reading in the Bible, they return a lot of kids.
Defensive lineman Chandler Staton is back, and he had 56 tackles. And Easton Davis with 85 tackles back on that defensive side of the football. So they're going to be improved. They're going to be linebacker. They're going to have Will Bettler Wells will be a linebacker. Dexter Wolf, 85 tackles, also will be playing the linebacker spot. And Dax McElroy also. Mateo Sanders and Jaden Grayson in the defensive back. You remember Mateo Sanders on the basketball court. Impressive shooter, but a good defensive back also for the Demons.
Which I figure you're going to see the Spring kid on defense, Smoot
and Suter. I'd put him at linebacker.
Yeah,
He'd
you know,
probably
I
be the
mean,
best player on the field.
You know,
But I tell you what, Coach Lee Blankenship does a good job with Beggs. We met him last year. We got to know him a little bit. What a great guy, and does a great job with that program. Great football field, good facilities. They're a joy to cover, the Beggs Demons, and I love covering the Beggs.
there ain't nothing up there.
No. Just the Demon Dome.
Yeah, that was a cool place.
All right, let's go over Shakota now, led by Chad Hendricks. They're going to be returning Seth Knight, and of course we've seen Ronnie Hall last year, and he is fast,
Yes.
and he's an impressive athlete. Ronnie Hall, running back. He actually averaged, it says 6.5 yards per carry, and I remember Adrian Jones back there also last year too. He's a good running back also. So Shakota, yes, they do have some good runners in the backfield. You know, be surprised to see them see what they can do against the Ironheads. That'll be a great matchup down there. Of course, it always is.
And one thing you can count on with Shakota is a big offensive line.
Yeah, they do have big kids on the offensive line. I think they graduated a couple of huge kids, though.
Yeah, they graduated a 5.100 kid. I know that.
Yeah.
Henson.
Yeah, but you see at O-line, they're going to have Whitlock at 245, Lackey at 295, Walker at 245, Bobby Morton at 260, and Tyler Whitlock at 275. So just looking right there, they're averaging about 260, 270 a kid on the offensive line. Pretty good size for a 3A school.
Yeah. Don't tear that off. That's stapled together. Let me have your paper clip. Let me help you out, buddy. Let me make you look good, okay? I'll make you look good.
Let's talk about Okmulgee now.
Okay.
How about that? So we go to the Bulldogs, and we covered them last year, and they struggled a little bit, you know, when they played the Demons last year, the game we broadcasted.
But they played a lot of young kids.
They did play a lot of young kids. So, you know, they always have athletes at Okmulgee. You know, they gotta coach them up, got to get them in the right spots, and when they do that, typically Okmulgee's got a good football team. Yeah, you talked about the Barrett kid in the opening. I think he was hurt last year when we covered the game, but he's a sophomore this year, and he's a dynamic quarterback, run and throw. Henderson will be the backfield mate for Barrett. He'll be playing running back. Of course, Travion Skinner, we've seen him on the basketball court. He's back. He leads the receiving corps for the Bulldogs. They're going to have a few kids up front. Of course, the Camacho kid's going to be up there on the offensive line.
Tight end, I think.
Oh, is he tight end?
I
I
think
think there's two of them.
I think he's going to be one of their tight ends.
Is he?
Yes.
Well, they're going to be much improved, and we expect a lot out of the Okmulgee Bulldogs, led by Coach Carl Lee. We'll go over Cushing real quick before we finish the district. And Cushing, really good. Yes, you're right. They did make it to the state title game in 2014. They were defeated by Heritage Hall. Connor McGinnis and company for Heritage Hall was really, I mean, what a talented team that was. I mean, just unreal. Great team. And Cushing, of course, lost that game, but Cushing is they're almost a lock for the quarterfinals or the semifinals every season. They're that good. It's hard to believe because, you know, they're just kind of out there in the middle of nowhere. It's not a suburb of a city.
No.
It's just out there, but man, they are really good, really talented.
They got them a VIPE 100 quarterback too.
They do.
He's not all 3A, but
Holder Reed.
Yeah, but he is VIPE 100.
I bet he's second team all.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
3A.
You know that.
Holder Reed. He threw for over 2,000 yards and 32 touchdowns last year, which Gleason is the VIPE 3A quarterback. He threw for 2,500 yards last year and I believe 24 touchdowns. So these guys are very similar. You know, they're going to get out there, they're going to spread the field, they're going to throw the ball a lot, they're going to score a lot of points. So the thing with Cushing, though, is it sounds like their defense gets after you.
Yes.
You know, they'll score on you, then their defense will get after you. So
well, they returned 6 starters on the defensive side of the ball.
That's a tough deal right there for any team. So we'll run down the
That's 3A6 for you folks.
3A6. We'll run down 3A8 next, and 3A8. Of course, this may be my favorite district. I really like this district a lot.
Oh, I do too.
I like the teams in it. Wish they would add a team, though, really. I really wish they'd throw another team in there because it's kind of, you know, with 6, I'd like to see 7 or 8 teams in that district instead of just 6. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, no.
You like 6 teams?
Yeah, that's good.
So 2/3 of your teams make the playoffs.
I mean, well, that's cool.
Yeah, I guess so. Probably in this district it's fine because the talent level in this district's really good. We'll start out with 3A8, and we got the number 4 Stigler Panthers. I don't think they're number 4. I don't know what this 4 is.
Yes,
on here.
that's what I had it down as.
Stigler's number 9. We'll say number 9, Stigler Panthers.
Maybe I wrote that as 9. Maybe that's a 9. That's a 9.
That's a jacked up 9.
Hey, we're just getting started too,
Stigler
buddy.
Panthers. Hey, I'm going to be over there tomorrow at their football field Brody plays there tomorrow at Stigler. But hey, we'll talk about Stigler. Chris Reisenhoover leads the Panthers, another offensive team. They run the ball a lot, though. They got Garrett Brooks, 2,700 yards and 25 touchdowns last year on the ground.
He's all Vite, too, is he not?
He's all vibe. 2,700 yards. Calculate that. What's that a game?
170 if you just play 10.
That's 270 if you just
Yeah.
play 10.
So they probably played, what, 13, 12,
I think they
at least
played
12?
Yeah, so he's over 200 yards a game.
Yes.
Unreal.
But they spread the field out.
And
that
run a lot
allows
of
it.
draw, a lot of read stuff. What a great player, though. I'm excited to see Garrett Brooks play. Mason Perry, also in the backfield. Turrentine, of course, we've seen him last year over here, quarterback for the Panthers. We did cover Stigler here, right? Last
Yeah,
year?
but he wasn't a quarterback last year.
No, he was a receiver, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Garen Mayhaw, Jackson Calhoun, and Kelby Self, they're going to be the receiving core. Of course, Self is a big, physical, 6'5", 270-pound tight end. I mean, that's NFL-sized tight end.
Well, Stigler, they have big. They're big across the line also. They have been for the last few years.
True.
You know, got some big old boys.
And huge offensive line, 305, 290, and 245, led by Draven Johnson. He's 6'4", 305, big offensive tackle. The defense created 23 turnovers last year. We've seen about 7 of them out here that one night.
That's 2 a game.
We've seen about 6 of them out here that one night against Rowley. Remember? They both turned it over, what, about four or five times?
Yeah, the ball, it was played right there in the middle of the field.
Massive defensive line. Johnson, Smith, Self, the big tight end is on the D-line. So you're talking 305, 270, 290 on your D-line.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not running up the middle. You got to get something on the perimeter.
You better have your Haas. You better have some RJP riding in there if you're going to run up the middle.
Something. And, of course, linebacker spots, you're going to see Turrentine, Mayhaw, Calhoun. You're going to see Brooks in the secondary. Stigler Pirates going to make another run. Of course, last year I think they were
Panthers.
My bad. Their baseball team's the Pirates.
I got to make you look good.
Panthers going to make another run. I believe they were they quarterfinal team? Yeah, they were quarterfinal team last year, and they lost to John Marshall.
Yeah, they went
in the
10-3, so they
so
3
13
deep.
games.
Yeah.
So
went 3 deep.
look for the Panthers again. They're going to be on our broadcast this year. Muldrow Bulldogs projected here. We got them second here on our list. They're projected third, though, behind Idabel in the district. But the Bulldogs, led by Terry Jones and Braden Gleason. We talked about him on the schedule show.
5-100, all 3A quarterback.
And what's the one thing we talked about also? Protection.
Yes.
If you can protect him.
And that's where Muldrow has to. They have to have offensive linemen step up this year. They have to.
And I'm with you. I think if you can protect him, he can make any play at any time.
Yeah.
And he can beat any team in this district. We've seen him beat Sallisaw his sophomore year in a monsoon.
Yeah.
A pass to the corner of the end zone to win it in a monsoon. I mean, his legend just keeps growing. It's going to grow again this year. 25. Okay, he had 25 touchdown passes last season and 2,500 yards passing. So, he's over 3,000 career yards. His completion percentage is over 60%. I mean, for a high school kid, very impressive. Sharp's back in the receiving core. Stinson's back. Caleb Armour, of course, we know him.
He's got the receivers.
Yep, and of course, we seen Floyd last year carry the ball for him and did a good job for the Bulldogs. So you got a few receivers. You got a good running back. So we'll see what kind of offensive line they got. Defensively, they only have 3 returning starters. So Cade Floyd's in there. He's probably going to play some linebacker. Logan Crane, outside linebacker, and Toby Sparkman on the D-line. So you're probably going to see some of these receivers playing in the secondary, like Sharp and Sharp and Armour, probably going to be in the secondary for the Bulldogs. But tell you what, they can make a run. They were 6-5 last year. They're just right outside the top 15 in the rankings. So a couple wins early, and they can, bolt their way in there. So.
In this district, I've stepped out there and said I think Muldrow and Eufaula is going to be just a tad better than what people think they're going to be.
But Eufaula, though, always pretty tough. We'll go over Roland next, head coach Jeff Strine, and he's done a good job here at the Rangers. Led them to the quarterfinals a couple years ago, beat a good Victory Christian team here on this field, and then went the next week, got another home field game here against Jones in a
monsoon.
A cold monsoon.
Yeah.
And we were here that night.
Yeah, we were all covered, bundled up.
That Jones team was too much. That Jones nose guard was a handful. You remember that? And that's when they had Manny Bunch. Manny Bunch playing quarterback for Roland. So Dalton returns at quarterback. It's what you want back. You want an experienced quarterback. Wells and Plummer back. Also Plummer, an athletic receiver. We see him on the basketball court. He's a great rebounder. Really good basketball player. Logan Wolf's back. L.J. Williams will step in at running back. Knowles played hurt a lot last year. We seen him here, and he was hurt. Seemed like he had a shoulder injury last year.
Who?
Knowles.
The running back?
Yes. He graduates. He's gone. The defense returns
He
7
missed
starters.
most of the year.
He had a shoulder injury. He was out a lot.
Roland had to play a lot of young kids last year.
7 starters back on defense. Marable at free safety. Jackson Wells at the other safety spot. You're going to see Jacob Cantrell, Peyton White, linebackers. You're going to see a lot of different looks on the defensive line. Jacob Mueller will be an anchor on the defensive line. But, they'll move it around. Coach Pratt in that defense, they'll figure stuff out.
No cousin Pratt.
Yeah, and Coach Potts up there. Roland does a good job. Their coaches are really good. And I tell you what, these guys, they live and breathe it. They take it serious. They're in the film room. They spend a lot of time working on football. So I expect Roland to be there, probably be a playoff team. And then we got to talk about Larry Newton Jr. and the Fall Ironheads. We had Larry Newton Jr. on a lot of our broadcasts last year. He did a lot of halftime stuff for us and pregame. He did a pregame show, didn't he? With Rodney?
With Rodney.
Yeah. So Larry Newton Jr. We appreciate that, and he's going to bring back Hunter Heiler, who got a lot of snaps last year. He wasn't the full-time quarterback, but when he was in there,
had a lot of experience.
When he was in there, there's a lot of times that we thought he should have been in there more.
Yes.
Got a good arm, and then when you bring back Dylan Anderson, John Bailey, and Logan Kreidermeyer at receiver, the only thing you're really missing is Walker in the slot. But I would say that Eufaula probably can replace him. He's going to be hard to replace, but you can get a guy in there, and with those 3 guys at receiver, I wouldn't be surprised to see Kreidermeyer taking Jesse Walker's spot, because remember he got a lot of those jet sweeps.
The one thing about Walker, it wasn't so much that he was just a good 3A football player.
He was a great 3A.
Yeah. Well, you know what I thought about him. Yeah.
He won the Mayo Award.
Yeah, he won the Mayo Heisman. That's courtesy to Jeff Mayo. They retiring Big Noah Drake in the backfield.
Noah Drake is a handful. I mean, a bruising back. They had a couple of them last year. You remember the other Adams kid they had?
And they had a
bruised
Ortega?
Anderson kid. Yeah, they had Arriaga.
Arriaga.
We'll see what the O-line can do. That's the question mark right there, because you're going to have to protect Heiler if he's going to throw these 3 receivers. Gage Burns and Daniel Atwood do return, so they have 2 returning starters on the O-line. We'll see what they can, put with those guys. The defense will be strong. They'll have defensive backs back. They'll have Anderson, Heiler, Bailey, and Kreidermeyer. They got all 4 defensive backs back, so that's going to help in coverage.
The only thing you ain't got is you ain't got Jesse Walker.
Dakota Adams.
Running around.
Dakota Adams was that middle linebacker
running
and
around
that
everywhere.
bruising.
Yeah.
Noah Drake will probably step in there and take Dakota Adams' spot, the middle linebacker spot, and he's a
now there's another Walker up there.
There is another Walker. Shane Walker.
Yeah, so you never know.
Yeah, but I think he's a D lineman. I don't think he's
you never know.
An all-purpose player.
They gave us probably our most exciting game last year.
The Inola game?
Yes.
Yeah,
Inola airplane, helicopter come in. We about got run off the highway. Scored late to win it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just a.
Yeah, we about got run off the highway going to those sketchy places you try to go to.
go to the backwoods places. You don't know what you're going to get into.
So, Darren, if you don't mind, will you bring up that 3A rankings one more time? So you're looking at, on our broadcast this year, you're looking at Cushing, Berry Hill, Stigler, Telequascoya, Beggs, and Idabel. We're going to be bringing you, what, six of the top 15 teams in Class 3A.
And then I think Eufaula and Muldrow's right
Muldrow
there.
and
Yeah.
Eufaula, you're right there also. Yep. And hey, it's Rolling Ranger team. You never know.
They're,
Yeah, I did Camp Cushing. Yeah.
But
And of course, we got Lincoln Christian tonight, right there.
yeah,
All right, Jimbo. I'm starting to get
famished.
Yeah, I'm starting to get famished here. Let's go to 2A. Let's go ahead and talk about the Wolverines for us.
2A. You know, what can you say?
2A5.
You know,
Yep.
I don't know how many years in a row they've won their district, but I don't see nothing else different happening this year. You know, you know, Henrietta, you know, they're in their district. Okema Panthers is picked second. Haskell Haymakers is picked third. Henrietta Knights fourth. Wewoka Tigers fifth, and Holdenville Wolves is
Wolverines.
Picked, Wolverines. You got two Wolverines in there.
And you can see the 2A standings here. And in 2A, I mean, you got Vian. Of course, we did the Vian Hall and Hall game last year. Both those teams ranked top 10.
Look what you got in the top 5.
Yeah.
Millwood, Davis, and Adair.
And Chisholm and Victory Christian.
Every year.
Every year.
Every year.
Every year. Those top 7 teams, excluding Hall and Hall, but they probably will be in the top 7 every
Well,
year.
yeah, because last year's the first year to
Vian,
be in the district.
You can talk about these teams right here, and they're pretty much there every year. Now, in a different order,
Yeah.
pretty much there. And a lot of times, you know, I don't see them in here, but, yep, right there, number 10, Hartshorn. They're always tough in 2A also. Of course, them and Vian used to share a district, and they used to battle for the district championship.
Whoa.
I think Hartshorn's probably the last team that's beat Vian in a district game, haven't they?
Yeah.
And you got Spyro this year, also number 13. How about that?
Well, you got.
I mean, Spyro was 0-10 2 years ago. Now they're ranked in the top 15 in 2A.
Well, you got Okema, the second ranked, the team picked second. They're 15th. You know.
Yep.
You know, which you know, in rankings in them smaller classes like that,
Yeah.
you know, your second place team might be pretty good, and not even make the top 15.
Yeah.
Because you got so many different districts. You know, I mean, you know, you're going to have a lot of district teams that they're picking to win the district championship is going to be ranked in your top 15. You know, Vian, you know, River Simon will play quarterback for them this year. You know, Bodie Van will be line up in the backfield with
Hey,
him.
when we were watching that first series, I seen him make a couple tackles already.
Oh, well, he got in a fight over here. he was the Vian kid in the fight.
Got in a fist fight already.
Bodie Van will line up in the backfield with him and play running back. Christian Christ and Chris Logan will be their tight ends. William Lyons, Bobby Risley. I wonder if he's any kin to old Lee Risley.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, Bodie Van, he's quick as a cat, isn't he?
Yeah.
Man, he's may not have the speed downfield that Tuck Moses had, but in and out, man, he's lightning quick.
To me, the key to this offense is you got to keep Simon healthy. And he's been hurt the last 2 years.
You know he's going to run the ball a lot.
Yeah,
you know they're going to do a lot of zone read with Simon and Van. That's what they're going to probably be a zone team, and they're going to throw out of it.
They return 5 starters on defense. You know, Simon at middle linebacker, 86 tackles.
He'll be over 100 this season
in 9 games.
He'll be over 100 if he stays healthy.
You know,
easy.
I mean, you know that they played 12 games. You know, he would have had.
Yeah.
He would have had another 30
you got Fletcher also at linebacker.
Whit Fletcher.
He'll probably have 80 this year.
Yeah. And then your safeties will be Bodie Van, Gray Cloud, Cade Cato. They will anchor along the defensive line.
Gray Cloud. That must be Rain Cloud's
Yeah.
brother.
Along with Nick Hughes. You know who Nick Hughes' mama is?
Trisha
Barnes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know there's an athlete right there because Daddy's a good ball player too.
Yeah. And
you know,
Cousin was a heck of a basketball player. Tatum going to Southeastern to play.
So that family, they're athletic. You know.
Yeah.
He'll be he's a freshman and he's going to start.
Yeah, he's probably going to be pretty good.
You know, Vian's big thing is they got to develop some offensive linemen, and to me, you got to keep Simon healthy. If you lose Simon, you're in trouble.
I agree, and you know it says down here, Roland, Vian has won 10 games 4 out of the last 5 seasons. That's impressive, man. I mean, just keep it rolling, just keeping it rolling. You know, with 2 different coaches.
And they probably won 9 that 5th one.
Probably Hartshorn was the team that kept them out that 5th
you know.
one.
our other team in that district is the Henrietta Golden Knights,
Yep.
coached by Darren Johnson. On offense, Avery Moore, Austin. How you say that right there, buddy? Austin
Macaluso.
Caluso will be their running backs.
Macaluso.
They're Jarrett Day, Ethan Wentz are battling for the starting quarterback job in camp. You know.
Yeah, well, I remember Avery Moore last year. He was pretty dynamic for the Knights. And yeah, didn't Jarrett Day play some quarterback last year for him?
I can't remember who their quarterback was when we went up there.
Can't either.
You know,
We do cover so many teams. It's hard to.
It is.
It's hard to keep track of it.
You know, especially when they're only there 4 years. You know,
Yeah.
their big their offensive line is going to be young, but they say, man, they are strong. You know, so you know, and on defense, you know, they return a trio of linebackers: Ethan Wentz, Jarrett Day, and Avery Moore.
Jarrett Day and Avery Moore.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
as we know, especially really in any football, when you got 3 linebackers that's got that much experience returning,
Mhm.
that bolsters your defense so much.
Right.
You know,
Right. Young team though.
Yeah.
Picked 4th in the district. We got Okima picked 2nd behind Vianna, and then the Haskell Haymakers, who were 4 and 6 last year, picked 3rd. Wewoka Tigers picked 5th. Man, I seen Wewoka have some teams though. I mean, I don't know. Maybe their school districts changed or something. You know, it's hard to guess in those little schools, but man, I seen them have just some.
I know one year they had like 2 offensive linemen that one of them I think wound up going to OSU. He never played, but you know,
Kemp?
yes,
Yeah.
a big old boy.
Athletic.
Yeah.
Did you see those dudes on the basketball court,
Big
man?
old boy.
I went up and watched them in Oklahoma City in the state basketball tournament. I'm talking about athletic dudes, man. And
Who was
bigger
their
than everybody.
quarterback back then?
I don't remember who it was, but they had a lot of talent.
Looking forward to it. You want to do some rankings real quick? Just kind of
Sure.
a quick synopsis of it. You know, we'll start with
Sure.
6A1. We're just going to give the top 5. 6A1, of course. Okay, well you can see it all right there. Union Jinx, but you know I heard Jinx is down.
I heard they were too, and I heard Broken Arrow was good.
Well, I can tell you right now,
Wasso was higher than 6th.
you ain't a kid.
Now with the Stoops brothers at Norman North, they could give people fits because they're an athletic group, and both of them boys can play. I mean, they're both being recruited by D1 schools. So
Now, was it Westmore where the
Westmore,
Thompson kid
where
went?
yeah, but he's gone. He's at Newcastle now.
Yeah, moved them up in the rankings like about
Newcastle.
20 spots.
Well, they had 3 kids move in, didn't
Yeah.
they? Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
there you go.
but yeah, Awassa, the
They're
Proctor
the team to
kid.
watch. And the other defensive back, I can't think of his name, but he's already committed to Kansas State.
Yeah.
So their 2 safeties are.
Bill Snyder, he comes to Oklahoma a lot, don't he?
But he goes
Gets
to Tulsa
kids.
a lot.
You know,
But
Gets
but
a lot of
Bill-
kids
but-
from Booker
but
T.
Bill Blankenship's there now at Owasso, so
yeah.
I, I would probably
Yes.
catapult them up to here.
Yes. Well,
4,
I mean,
so-
Bill leaves TU, sets a year, goes over here into Arkansas,
Fayetteville.
wins the freaking state championship his first year there. You know, now he's back at Awassa. You know,
Yeah, we need to try to check out one of those games. I know it's really hard for us to watch any other high school teams other than what we're covering because of Friday nights, but if we can get them on a Saturday or something, that'd be great. We need to go check them out.
well, there is one of them games, Broken Arrow Union.
To start, yeah, it's
It's
next
going to be
Saturday.
on ESPN or something.
Next Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, now let's go to 6A or
6A2.
yes, 6A2. Bixby, Booker T. Washington. That's about all you got to say, ain't it?
Yeah, you know, occasionally Muskogee will make a run though at it, and Muskogee with athletes every year.
Well, Lawton's going to be up there too. You know, I think they.
Is Carl Albert in 5A, I guess, aren't they?
We're
yeah, I
fixing
guess
to find
Carl
out.
Albert's in 5A. Carl Albert's been good
Yeah.
too, been really good also.
But you know, Bixby, you know, since they divided them 2 up, you know, which Bixby's growing a lot. You know,
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the reason why Jinx is going down too. It's
Bixby?
because Bixby and Glenpool
Yeah.
are growing so much that they're not getting. People ain't moving out of Jinx anymore
Glenpool's
right
not
now.
getting really. They're not improving as much as Bixby. Bixby's.
But people, you know, the older generation's staying in Jinx. They're not moving out. So you don't have that younger generation moving in. Because your town can only grow so much when you're surrounded by
You
everything.
see the dude's shirt over here? Check it out.
What's his shirt say?
It says Baylor mentality. What is that?
Oh, my God. We don't want to talk about it.
What does that mean?
We'll go on to 5A here real quick. Okay. Look who's at the top.
Yep. The Irish.
Our old
The
nemesis.
Fighting Irish.
We got him one time, didn't we? Carl Albert, number 3.
Yeah. Carl Albert's, you know, there've been a lot of offensive linemen come out of Carl Albert, hadn't there?
Yeah.
Good ones.
McAllister at number 5. You know, I mean,
What about Lawton Mack?
yeah.
Always, man.
Kawita.
Always athletic.
Down there at number Collinsville dropped down to about 8th. You know, they lose their all-world linebacker.
Yeah.
But they still got a stud up there.
Another.
And I think
D1 kid.
I think he's going to Kansas or Kansas State too. I thought. Okay, let's go on to 4A real quick.
I think it's the kid from Mulligaw, isn't it? The other big kid.
That's where.
Mulligaw. I think.
Yeah. 4A. I mean, you got to leave them at the top until you beat them.
You do, but I think they could be beaten this year.
You know,
I
they're going
think-
for a four-peat.
I think Mulligaw was really kind of robbed all those years because this year they're down. They've lost a lot of kids.
Robbed.
I
We
mean-
went up there to that game.
Yeah, but I mean they've been so good. They could have been state champions in probably maybe even 5A. Remember they beat Collinsville last season.
The one thing about when you get to a state championship game, and we talked about it up there when we were watching this game, is the quarterback for Mulligaw in that game against Wagner, the game was too big.
Yeah.
You could tell he had a great arm, was pretty accurate, but, man, he was throwing fastballs.
Well, those defensive backs too for
You know,
Wagner just
Bring that back up there.
It's a different beast.
And then you got Heritage Hall there at number 2, and then
You know who my dark horse is? Number 4.
the Hilldale Hornets.
I'm talking about athletic, man. I watched that game against Salisaw last year on a rebroadcast. Shoot, Salisaw wasn't even within 3-4 touchdowns of that team. They were so good. I mean, just all over the field, athletic all over the field.
Well, I think, see, that power plant over there at Fort Gibson, see, they started dividing that money up amongst all them schools around there. And that's helped Hilldale build their school system up, you know, so and that's 4A. So now we'll do 3A.
3A would be logical.
Yes. 3A, Jones, Jarn Marshall. What can you say?
Yeah. Cushing, Lincoln
Yeah.
Christian there at 5 and 6. Of course, Lincoln out here tonight looking pretty impressive. Roland moving the ball on them right now, though. So, Rangers.
That quarterback out there from Lincoln Christian, though.
He's got a cannon, doesn't he?
I seen him a while ago when you were talking. He was running this way through across his body and hit the kid right in the chest right there.
Yeah, he's a kid.
just-
He's been going to camps probably since he was 6. Playing quarterback since he was 6.
Probably
going to camps.
he probably had a football in his hand when he was in diapers.
Probably so. We see Dalton and the Rangers right now. Good throw by Dalton there, complete down. Looks like he's going to get down inside the 5. So, tell you what, Rolling Ranger offense could be better, could be improved. Dalton with another year of experience. Look to see Roland. Let's check them out one more time, Darren. You see Berry Hill there and Stigler. Of course, we'll cover them 2 teams here. Beggs, we're going to get Beggs quite a bit. You're going to get your
Yeah.
Beggs fixed this year.
Yeah.
We'll get Ida Bell once. You know Ida Bell's going to bring an athletic team wherever they go. So there's 3A.
You know what I want for my Beggs fix, don't you?
Massey's Cobbler, huh? How about some hot links, too?
Yeah, some hot links. Well, you said ribs. You texted me and said,
let's
hey,
try some ribs.
let's
Let's try some ribs next time.
we're going to go up there and order half a cow, Derek.
I seen that rib rub they were putting on them last time before they put them in the smoker. It looked pretty impressive. So I'm going to have to try
You know
some
what
ribs.
you need to start doing? When we go off like that, you need to get everything set up and then leave Andrew there to watch it all and bring him back a sandwich and meet us somewhere and eat with us. I mean, why not? I mean, you know. Okay, now we're going to go to 2A real quick. Millwood, Davis, Chisholm, Victor Christian, and
Hold
Adair.
on, they can't see it.
That's all you got. That's all you got to say, man.
Yeah,
I mean-
Vian Wolverines there at 7. I think, you know, Jim, watching last year, after number 1, I think it's just a toss-up. I think Millwood's in a class of their own.
Yeah,
They got, what, 3 or 4 D1 kids on that team? And speed. You got the Class A rankings? Let's go over them real quick because we get, you know,
I do have them somewhere.
we could cover Salisaw Central.
I done
We
them
did last
today.
year, and I'm a Salisaw Central fan. So My daughter goes to school at South Central, so
Class A rankings right there for you, buddy.
they're on the screen, Jimbo.
Okay.
Winniewood, number 1. Of course, what about the Golden Tigers from Tallahena? They're always up there in the top 4. Afton, Hominy. Of course, Tallahena is, I believe they're in South Central's district, right? Also, Gore in Class A. And you know what? Gore's bringing Brandon Tyler in as their head coach, who was.
And we talked about going to Gore and doing a football game.
We did. That's still on the table.
Yes.
But Brandon Tyler back from, I believe he's at Van Buren. He's back, from Van Buren as an assistant coach. He's going to take the head job at Gore, and he had a great run at Vian. Had some. Well, I mean, he was those state champions, those teams that lost in the championship game, the Lawndale Taylor team there, Locust team. He was their head coach. So,
well, I mean, you know, when you look at 2A, you just, I mean, from 1 to 15.
A.
Yeah, from 1 to 15.
Are you famished, buddy?
Yeah, 1 to 15. I mean, them are all your teams that's there every year. Every year.
Every year.
I mean, you know who went to Winniewood, didn't you? You remember?
James Allen.
James Allen.
And what was his cousin's name that played also, the tight end?
He was an Allen, too.
Yeah, what was his name?
I don't remember.
Last
name
Allen.
was
That's
Allen.
a good trivia question, though. If you know that, the Allen boys from Winniewood, send it into Facebook. Let us
So
know.
I'm ready, bud. Are you?
I am ready. And what do we got? We got one more week. One more week, and then we have high school 0 week, right? 0 week doesn't start next week, right? It's the week after. It's next week, so we're working next week. No more time off.
It ain't around Labor Day weekend? Right there. August 25th, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's next Friday night.
At Vian, I guess we'll head over there now.
Where are we going to eat at?
I say we leave early and go to the place up north of Gore up there. What's it called? Huh? Soda Steve's.
We're going to go way out of the way to go way up there.
It's
Stop at Kiki's, man. They got
in
the biggest pancakes you ever want to see.
It's in Sequoia County.
You
Come
know.
on. You don't want to go to Soda Steve's?
Oh, I'll
That's
go
fine.
there. I'm fine.
No, they catered it in last year at
Yeah.
Vian, remember?
Yeah.
So we'll go get some hot cakes at Kiki's in Sallisaw. Hot cakes.
Biggest hot cake I've ever seen.
Sponsor us, Kiki's. We're all about it. And we're there for hot cakes also.
And we're going to be doing some things. We just hadn't quite figured out what they all are. Myself, I'm hoping to have some footballs.
What kind of things we've been doing that we haven't talked about yet?
No. Well, I mean, maybe some T-shirt giveaways or
Right,
something like
right.
that,
What about the football idea?
Yeah. Well, we're going to do it. I'm going to get with Darren. I mean, even if I got to pay for the footballs, I'm going to do it. You sent me that site the other night, and I got to looking on there for them footballs.
Yeah.
And them were 7-inch footballs, man. Them were good size footballs.
Yeah, man. There's like a TDJs. YJs or whatever. Yeah.
And of course, we got Darren here with us tonight. Bailey. But we got Darren here tonight. Darren's, he's our man behind the scenes that keeps us up and going.
Of course,
And
young Andrew he'll have to crawl out of his cave next week.
Andrew and Silver, our 2 camera people, they'll be back. Andrew. When we got to basketball season, that boy grew so much as a cameraman. I think he could be a professional.
He's got talent.
Well, I mean, he done something there to get that shot in them last few seconds of that Omogi game that I wouldn't even have thought
He used
of.
like 2 spectators to put the camera
Yeah.
on to get it higher.
And then,
It was
of course,
impressive.
we got an old buddy.
Which one?
Old buddy, Chris Locklear, back on the stats.
I told him to not come on out, and he had other things. He had more important things to do. So
You better quit.
me?
Quit.
You work
You're
with him.
You're going to make him mad.
Yeah. Well, that's a
but-
given.
Hey, best stat man in the state.
Yeah.
He does his job great. Yeah, and we're back and ready, and I'm ready for the first game kickoff as well as you.
Yeah.
Might be going to Cushing once.
You're going to Berry.
Going to Berry Hill, ain't we?
Yeah, we're going to Berry Hill, right? Yeah, we're going to Berry Hill week 1. You better get ready. You better get your traveling shoes
Hey,
on.
we got a lot of places to pick from.
You better get an
going
oil
up there.
change.
You better get off early.
Are we gonna go Central?
Yeah, that's my driving.
I
ain't
don't
it?
know if we're going to go to Central. It's so far.
Oh my god.
It's just so far. Well, I hope you
But-
guys enjoyed tonight. again, we got the scrimmage going on back here. We haven't really watched much of it. I may sit back here and watch a little bit of it now. We've got Vian's defense on the field. I see Simon out there, number 15. Looks like we got the rolling offense out there maybe. So might get to see some of that. Both teams look pretty good. When I seen them out there on offense, and Lincoln Christian looked really good.
On offense. They
yeah,
did
the
on
quarterback
defense.
looked really good.
Yes.
And the running back got around the end once and made a little juke spin move. Looked really smooth.
Put his foot in the ground, changed directions real quick.
Yep.
You know, I'd hurt myself if I'd done that. Put my foot in the ground, I'd probably fall down.
This is true. We hope everyone enjoyed watching our season preview show. Again, next week we'll be ready for kickoff. That'll be at Fian. Is it a 7 o'clock kick? 6 o'clock kick, Darren? 7? That's 7 o'clock kick. And what better? Muldrow Bulldogs at the Vian Wolverines. Offense versus defense. Great football action. For Jim Alderson, I'm Brad Cameron. We thank everyone for watching CHSN. Give us a like on Facebook. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Watch us.
I subscribe.
Everyone have a good week. We'll see you at Vian next week.
See you in a week.